Sorry, my storage just cut out. So part two of this lesson. So they were just like striking this flint, and nothing was happening because they didn't know how to make fires. They were there for an entire hour, and the jury, the people who were voted out that ultimately decide who win, who actually attend every tribal council and watch the gameplay to see what happens, were just there like so tired. They were like falling asleep. They were on each other's shoulders, and they were just so exhausted. How painful that watching this was, watching them try to make fire for an entire hour. Pretty painful. I would find that to be pretty painful if I was just watching that. So after a whole hour, Jeff is like, "All right, stop. We're gonna go to matches," because they were that bad. That you had to give them matches. You know, making fire it's kind of understandable. You know, I did buy a flint, and it's hard to make fire. It's a lot harder than it looks when you watch it on TV. So they were given matches, and Sundra ran out. She was trying to make fire with all this kindling, this coconut husk, this sticks, just to get it to a certain height, not really that high they needed to get it to. And she lost all her matches. She broke all of them. Like, where have you been? Okay? This game is called Survivor. It sounds like you have to live outside, and you do. It's part of the survival aspect. You don't just vote people out and compete in challenges. You also have to live out there in the wilderness. Learn how to make a fire. She was terrible. So then Becky was actually able to make a fire, and she lit it up, made fire. They were there for like 2 hours trying to do that, make that fire, like friggin' including the talking, storytelling aspect before the vote. The tribal council lasted like 3 hours. It was probably terrible to be there. So Becky ends up making it to the final three, and then it's Yul, Ozzy, and Becky sitting at the end. One of those three wins. It was just so weird to watch that she didn't know how to make fire, and it was just really cringeworthy to watch. So that's number four. This is what the fans said were like the top 5 moments. Number three, Eric gives up immunity in season 16 Survivor Micronesia. So in season 16 of the show, there was this all-female alliance called the Black Widow Brigade, and there were 5 people: Alexis, Natalie, Suri, Amanda, and Parvati. 5 people. And their main incentive, once they merged, which was at the final 10 this season, was to just peck off the men one by one by one by one until none of them remained. So this was really only came up with at the final 9, because the final 10, Eliza, another woman, was seen as this, social pariah. So they all just voted her out. And then going into the final 9, who was left at that point? Yeah, it was 5 women, so the Black Widow Brigade, all female alliance. Every female in the game was in that alliance against 4 men. So first man that they vote out, they started off by blindsiding Ozzy, who was also on season 16. He came back as a favorite, as a returning player. And then after he gets blindsided, the Black Widow Brigade stays strong. They blindside Jason. They both went home with idols in their pockets. This Black Widow Brigade was a very dominant alliance, very good players that they were able to constantly blindside people and make them not suspected at all. James from China gets medically evacuated. You don't know who Jason is. He was a brand new player on that season, but James was a returning player. He gets medically evacuated because of after he ate bat and then got an infection, kind of how Corona started. Big conspiracy theory there, but he ate bat and then he got medically evacuated because of a fungus on his ankle or something. And then after that, there is 5 women left. It's the final 6 against 1 male, 1 ice cream scooper super fan of Survivor. So 5 women were left at this point against a damn ice cream scooper. And they're like, oh my god, this is going to be the easiest thing ever. Let's go. Eric wins immunity.